Hello everyone and welcome back to Jacqs Scraps. Thanks for joining me today for week 9 of 13 Frights Before Halloween. I can't believe we are already in week 9. This is crazy. There's only 4 weeks left. So make sure that you are following all 11 crafty witches so that you can see all the wonderful Halloween projects we are creating. And if you do create your own or one of our projects, make sure to use the hashtag. Now let's get crafting. So for my project this week is kind of an ode to Hocus Pocus 2, which is coming out on September 30. And I saw this SVG on Creative Fabrica and I recently purchased it, and I thought, what a better way to put in a little Hocus Pocus into my Halloween crafting than by making a candelabra. So I purchased the SVG file from Creative Fabrica, and as you can see here, it is on sale for 90 cents. An excellent purchase considering that you get 2 different designs in this one purchase. One of the reasons why I picked it up was because Cricut Design Space has candelabras, but they're not as intricate as these, and I really just love the design. When you download the files, this is what you're going to get. One of them is a Read Me First file, and I would highly recommend reading that. It really just helps you out on how to set things up and what some of the pieces are. So like I said, there are 2 different designs. You have a bat candelabra and a skull candelabra. I selected the bat candelabra, and when you go into that file, you'll actually see 2 more folders, one for an 80-pound cardstock and then one for a glitter cardstock. The difference is the cardstock, there will be 2 files that you upload to your cutting machine. In the glitter cardstock, there are 4. The reason that you get 4 is that you're going to glue 2 pieces together, A and B. Okay, I have my Cricut Design Space window open. We're on a new project, and what I'm going to do is click on Upload in the left-hand corner, and we're going to hit Upload Image up at the top left. Now I have my files open here on the right hand side. You get a JPEG, PNG, and SVG as well as EPS. And I always select the SVG because when you incorporate it, it doesn't bring in any of the background and the images come in at the right size. So you may want to name your project. I even add some tags to it. Not everyone does that I noticed. So we're uploading that, and then we can select it to bring it onto our canvas. The first thing you're going to do is ungroup up here in the right-hand corner. And now all of your images are individual. Now I wanted to create more elements to go along with this SVG file. So the first thing that I did after I ungrouped it was selected one of the candelabras and duplicated it. Moved it over to the side here, and then I started to cut out other images from it. So I'm going to go to shapes on the left hand side. I took a circle. I actually recolored this because I found it's easier to do when it's recolored. I didn't want this to be one full color, so I took the circle over the little flames, and then I clicked on both of them, and down in the right-hand corner, I hit slice, and I sliced out the flame. The next thing I did was brought in a square shape. Again, I recolored it because it's just easier. And I wanted to cut out the candlestick. So I layer those on top of each other to the point where it looks good. And then I select those 2 and slice again. And now I have a candlestick here, and that's gone. I'm just giving you some ideas on what you can do if you want to add more shapes. So I ended up doing that for all of the flames as well as all of the candlesticks. I just wanted to make sure that they weren't different. So that's how I did the candlesticks and flames. So I ended up with 3. I did not take these images and duplicate them. I just wanted to make sure that I was capturing the right ones, because if you notice, the flames are different They're going in different directions. So you want to do that for each one of the flames. And the candlestick portion itself, I just wanted to make sure I was getting the right size. So that's why I cut each one of those individually as well. The next thing I did was bring on another image, and then I wanted to cut out the cobwebs here in the center. Now this took some time. I went and deleted some images, and then I did some more slicing. So however you want to do this part, you can. It is going to take some time, like I mentioned. Then I got rid of all of the extra, and I tried to cut it down to where it was just a small image. You can go into contour and cut some things off, but I noticed that some of the pieces were connected that I really wanted, so I found that I couldn't really use the contour. So in case you're wondering why I'm not using that feature, it was eliminating the wrong things. See here, that's a good example. So I need to uncheck that. So anyways, that's what I did. I just wanted to show you that real quick. So I did that for all of these images, and let me show you what it looks like in the end. It ended up looking like this. So here are my candlesticks. For my drips, I did go out and I searched candle drip. And then I found some that I liked. I think it was this one right here. I got rid of everything. You have to ungroup it and then bring out the part that you want, which was that. And then I got rid of everything else. I took this and resized it to the size of the actual candlestick. And then I ended up with these 3 little pieces. For the flame, to get that inner black piece, because as you see, it's different, I did the same thing. I went out and did a search for candles. I found one, actually it was that same candle, and I used the orange part here, as you can see here. I just got rid of everything else. And then I resized it and stuck it in there. For the wicks inside of the candle flame, what I do after they're cut from my cutting machine is I take my scissors and just snip off a little bit off the bottom so that it's flat rather than kind of a pointy end. I just think that looks better. So that's what I do with them, and then these cut out separately as well, and just glue those 2 pieces together. And then here are all of my individual cobweb pieces. In the end, I did come back to these circles that were provided in the file as well. Because I added all this extra stuff to the candelabras, these pieces no longer fit. So to create new circles, I went to shapes, put a circle on the canvas. Let's recolor it so you can see me working on it. So what I did was come over to the original image. I clicked on it to get the size 0.986. And then resized mine. Then I came back over to shapes, and it actually has this plus sign, which can perfectly fit for the X or plus. I resized this to be bigger than the original. Put these 2 images together. I'm gonna have to move down my candles. And selected those. Hit the alignment and did the center. And then I sliced them. And as you can see, it makes a larger hole. So that's all you need to do if you're going to create the project. I would make a larger hole in the X so that it will go over all the items that we are adding to the candlestick, and this will all make more sense when you see me put it together. So let's go to the table. Okay, now that I've gone through everything with you on the computer, I have gone ahead and cut out all of the pieces that I need to create my candelabra. I did use Distress Oxide Black Soot to ink around the candelabra as well as the pieces. In addition, I used Ali Edwards metallic gold ink to go around my flame pieces. And this is the Paper Studio glitter cardstock. For my candles, the white cardstock is from Cricut, as well as the candelabra itself. Well, it will be in the end. These pieces are using Cricut black glitter cardstock. I'm really loving that. I used Floral Garden adhesive diamond wrap, this beautiful, I don't know, it's like a fuchsia color. And then I had this wonderful pink glitter cardstock from Coordinations that went perfectly with this. And I cut out all of my cobweb pieces with that. So I did a kiss cut when I cut that out. So I have all of the pieces, parts that I need, and now I am ready to put this together. And I thought I would do that with you. I have one completed because I wanted to kind of figure out how I wanted everything laid out. So I did that one off screen, but I thought I would do this one with you. Now, one of the things to note is that when you're using the glitter cardstock option, you'll have 4 candelabra pieces to cut out. 2 of them will have the split at the top and 2 will have the split at the bottom. And that's so you can put them together. So we're going to put this one together. I've done inked all around it. And the first thing we do is to glue these 2 pieces together. As you can see here, I've already inked them. So we'll be doing that first. Probably not going to talk too much through this part of it since I kind of explained everything already. And then I'll just put it all together. And you can see how that goes, okay? One of the hard things about gluing this together is that, you know, you don't want your glue to dry by the time you get done with all the intricate pieces. So what I did was I glued it in sections. And I don't know if that made any difference, but it's just how I did the first one. As you can see, it's already starting to dry in some spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and put that portion down. Okay, so that's how I'm decorating my candelabra. I was going to add more adhesive diamond wrap, but it just started to look a little bit bunchy, and I kind of just like this. It gives a little bit more dimension where some is jeweled and some is just the glitter cardstock. So I really like how that turned out. The next thing we need to do is put the two pieces together. So this is the piece that you saw me do, and here is the other one that I did off screen. And with our two pieces, with the X's in the middle, I do believe we need to glue these together. So I'm going to do that and hope that's the right thing to do. This is going to get slid down over the center candle. So that's all matched up. Now you're supposed to slide down part A and push up on part B. So I'm thinking this is part B with the split at the top, and this is part A since you're sliding it down. So I'm going to try to do this the best I can so you can see what's happening. So I'm sliding down A, which is the top one here, and sliding it down over B. And I'm going to push until it gets even on the bottom. As you can see here, my points meet up, and that's even. Oh, look, it's already even standing. So then let's get our, oh, that one got a little bent. Let's glue that back down. Okay, so let's put our candle flame here in the right spot. I hope this will work because I added extra stuff to this. It may not work for me. You know that? Because I added extra goodies. As I feared, the original circle with the X in it does not fit over my candle because I've added all these extra decorative layers. So what I did was went back into Cricut Design Space, and I actually made one that had a bigger X in the center. And I think this will go over my pieces. So I made two, and I inked the edges and then glued those together. Okay, so that goes together. That works. I mean, it'll hold it, I guess, in place. But my concern more is with the bottom than the top. This seemed to stay together pretty good. These, on the other hand, kind of flopped around. So what I'm going to do is try and figure out a mechanism to put here on the bottom as well. I think that's what needs reinforced, not so much the top part. Okay, to secure the legs on the candelabra, if you will, what I did was take just a little bit of hot glue and added it on one side of the leg, just right at the bottom, and then I did the same thing with the other leg. So that secured them enough to where part A was not kind of wiggling around. So now my legs are secure to the candelabra. Another thing I wanted to mention is that for the candles, I did add just a little bit of hot glue on the inside to get them to stay in the position. So I really could take this circle part off, but as I was doing that, I kind of liked having it there, so I just left it. It just gave it a whole different look. But as I was fixing the bottom part here, adding that hot glue, I tried to figure out how to decorate it a little bit more, and well, I ended up adding some things to it. But I didn't film it because by the time I realized what I was doing, it was already done. So what I've done is created a little floral cluster here. I've added 3 roses from Little Birdie and even added some of this greenery here around it and onto some of the flowers. And then what I did was take Spectrum Noir Sparkle. This is the crystal clear. And I soaked these flowers with that stuff. It really doesn't take a whole lot of this to get the effect that you see here. But look at the sparkle and shine on these. Absolutely beautiful. They were very dull before, and I love how that turned out. I then added some flat back pearls here that were adhesive, just in some various spots here on the flowers. Then I took one of the Dollar Tree spiders, cut off the ring part, hot glued him on there as well. So I think that is super cute. In addition, I did add some more flat back pearls here to the bottom of the candlesticks. And I think that looks really good. I like having this decorated side and then one that's not decorated. So if later on I think of another way to decorate this, I'll have the back side to do that with. But I am loving this. This is a really simple and fun project for you to try. Go out there, spend 90 cents, get this wonderful SVG file that has 2 different styles and use it. And even if you don't have a cutting machine, you could still take the JPEG images, print those out, or go to your local office supply store and have them printed on cardstock, cut that out as a template, and then use that to cut out on your own glitter cardstock or heavier cardstock. You could use a knife blade to cut out the cobwebs, or you could probably even just use it like that and maybe emboss the lines. That would look really cool as well. So don't think that just because this is an SVG and you don't have a cutting machine that you cannot use the files. You can still use them. You just have to be a little bit more creative. So that is my project for today. I hope you do give this a try. And if you do, please tag me. I would love to see it. And thank you all so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.